Glory, kia ora, lovely to see you.
Kia ora, everyone. Kia ora,
Mm.
uncle.
So, how are you really feeling today?
I'm actually struggling from a cold,
Oh,
but yeah, well, Wellington's freezing, but I'm okay.
you live
We
in
got out of
Wellington?
bed. Yes, I live in Wellington.
Right, that's divine. I'm so excited to have you on Takatāpui Talk because you've led such an incredible life. But then I will say that everyone that I have been interviewing has led really incredible lives. And the purpose of our podcast is to share with our rangatahi or whānau that, things get better, things are okay, and that we're always been here. And it shows our incredible resilience. So thank
Yeah, you're
I'm
welcome.
going to get
Thank you.
straight into it. Tell us about your childhood. Where did you grow up?
Okay, so I was born here in Wellington. I was raised here in Wellington in a small town called Wainoa. I'm sure everyone knows that is. My childhood growing up was quite colorful. My parents were the founding of the Black Power movement when it wasn't a gang. So they were founding members. And so I was pretty much grown up in, I wouldn't say gang life because once I was born in the 90s. So once the 90s hit, it kind of, my parents had kind of moved away from it and they were raising me and my brothers. I have two older brothers away from the gang. However, the aunties and uncles and that were still always coming in. Yes. So that, that's something I don't really actually tell people that.
Oh, you're allowed to, darling. You're
I
allowed.
know, but
It's life,
this is my life, and I have
Mm.
to. I've come. I guess I shunned it for a long time, but I'm tired of shunning things. It's my family, it's my life, it's how I grew up, and actually, it raised me to become quite a very strong person.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
what do you understand about that culture at that time? So, was your father leading the Black Power? What do they call it? They don't call it a, I was going to call it a pageant. It's not a pageant. They call it a chapter, don't they?
Yes, yes, that's it.
Yeah.
So from what I know, from what I gather around stories, is my mum was actually a part of it before he arrived.
Yeah.
And then when he arrived, they all wanted him. So he started coming and they ended up in it anyway.
Yeah.
And what I remember actually as a kid is it was very whānau orientated, to be honest.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like what you see now is not how it was when I was growing up. It was very
Yes.
whānau orientated. We had uncles all the time coming in and giving us like random bits of meat,
Mm.
like, like venison, pig,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It was very family orientated. If mum had to shoot out of town, like I was always staying at an auntie's house.
Mm-hmm.
It was very family included. Yeah,
Mm.
it was just like family. I don't see it any other way, really.
I love that. And you always felt safe? You always felt loved?
Yeah, yeah, actually, to be honest, I feel more safe around chapters and gangs than I do feel in actual society. To me, society is the killer.
Yeah.
And that's how I was raised because we were heavily protected. Like
Yes.
no one would want to mess with us, kind of vibes. Yeah.
And you always knew that? You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, you always knew that you were safe, that, you were always protected, and you never felt insecure while you were a child, and
I never had it. Not until probably not until I got a bit older, like say 6 or 7, and that's when my parents separated.
oh,
And then that's when I kind of was awoken to violence. So
oh,
it was, yeah.
yes. And when you're,
Mm.
so when did you I love that so much because, it's true for myself. We grew up with these people. I had 65 first cousins. I had 2 cousins that were brothers, and one of them was in the Mongrel Mob, and the other one was in the, Black Power, and they have since passed. They live in huge lives, and they don't tend to survive from them, but
Yeah.
they huge lives, and I always felt loved from them, especially my cousin that was in the Black Power, and it was always
Yeah.
a whānau. And I grew up as a very camp little boy, and he would,
Yeah.
I always felt I loved him, Patrick. I always felt so safe with him. So, and that's how we see that side of them, don't we? And I just love that so much because
Yeah.
it's not necessarily what people truly understand about them. And that as we're their
Yeah.
children, we are quite safe. And they're whānau, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you realise that you were whakawahine? Like, where did you start to feel these sort of, that you were different?
I always knew I was different because it started like in kindergarten. I would have been 4. I was always playing dress up.
Yes.
Just little things like that. I remember being 5 and it was Christmas and my parents bought me this big, huge fire truck. It was huge. You could drive on it. It was really big. And I sat there and I cried and I cried and I cried because I didn't get a Barbie. The one that there was a Barbie that you could pull and then she'd fling up and she'd start flying around. I wanted that Barbie. And I just kept crying and crying and crying. And my parents kind of just were like, oh, he'll get over it. He'll get over that cry. But I didn't stop crying until I got that doll.
I always laugh at these sort of parts because they're so similar to me, and I enjoy it. I never mean to offend. Like, people are like, why are you laughing? I said, because it's so similar.
No, but the funny thing is, it's real and it's a beautiful memory for me. Like, it sounds crazy, but it's actually really beautiful to me.
Yeah.
And then I also remember times when, we would go to events and stuff like that. And I used to have, so my mum bought me these jelly, the jelly stretch shoes?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. So the jelly stretch shoes, she knew. So she bought me a pair, or someone in my family had given me a pair, and I always wore them. And I used to just, as a child, go around in these jelly stretch shoes, and my clothes, I always wore oversized t-shirts to make it look like a dress. But then that all stopped when one time I broke my arm by playing on the trampoline, and I got back from hospital and my jelly shoes had gone, and my dad had actually thrown them out. So,
you would have been devastated.
I would think so. I cried with my mum for ages.
Yes.
Like, okay, we'll try and get you a new pair. But they never got me a new pair.
Oh, okay. So did you see the difference between mum and dad, the way that they, did he put expectations on you, your dad?
Funnily enough, in public, yes. But in the household, no. There was no differentiation. It was like I was allowed to do what I wanted in the house, but I couldn't go outside. Yeah.
So was that said to you, or?
No, that was found. That was,
okay.
Yeah. So it's like they would always see me dressing up and doing what I was doing, singing along to songs. I was a big Disney fan. I was always being this princess of the Disney world. But they would watch me and not say anything.
Right.
And then the moment I stepped out of the house doing that, it became a problem.
Right.
That's like, I saw the difference,
So if you were going to a whānau thing, you would be told not to wear that, or?
Yeah, like that's like, you can't go out like that. You have to put on your hoodie and your track pants. And I used to just look at it like, are you serious? Like, I remember being so young and being blatantly and like being really blatant and standing in my truth, being like, I'm not wearing that. That's ugly, And just my mum would just be like, come on, just do it for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because it's even sad to say it, but I imagine they would have experienced a little bit of embarrassment, or or who knows what they were feeling when you'd go out publicly, and who knows why our parents would be embarrassed of us, but they,
no, definitely. I do see the stigma that it comes with families.
Yes.
Especially when your child's so young, and then you have people in their ears telling them, oh, look at your child. Like, your child's not right. There's something wrong with your child. But they never let me hear or see any of that. So, So my mum and my dad were both very like, there's nothing wrong with you. It is how you are, who you are. And unbeknownst to me, because I didn't realize the outer family extent, girl, trannies are everywhere. And they are everywhere, and especially in the gang.
Yeah, especially in the gang.
Especially in the gang. Like,
okay.
That's why they were just like, oh yeah, so she's like this, he's like this, he's like that, he's gonna be like this, he's gonna be like that. It's okay. So they were quite open about that. But yeah.
I do have that. This is only just a little bit of stuff that I kind of knew about, especially the Black Power, that the Black Power women were also as important as the men.
Yeah.
You know, they were also decision makers, or they were also protectors, and they would also go to battle, I suppose, for want of a better description.
Oh yeah,
As
there's a big, I call them the Yaoranas, and they're all my
okay,
aunties. But there's a big Yaorana sisterhood out there,
right,
and they do more work than the men.
right, yeah, see, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And I actually think it's quite beautiful, really, you know, because it's that sense of
Mm.
whānau and family. So where were your parents from? Did you know their hapu, their iwi?
So I don't know much about my dad's side. I do
Mm.
know that he's from Rotorua himself,
Okay, kia ora.
and my mum comes from New Haka, which is a little township outside of Wairoa.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and we've always known that the hapu or iwis, hapu that
Mm.
we come from actually comes from Takitumu Waka, which is the waka that sailed in from the Cook Islands.
Okay,
And they've managed to keep those, because our marae is a whānau marae, it's not
yeah,
actually an actual marae.
sure.
They've managed to keep that knowledge that this is where we came, this is how we came to New Zealand. And we were led by the bird, manutai.
Mhm.
So our marae is called manutai, and it's actually based upon the bird that led us into New Zealand. Yeah.
That's beautiful. From
Mm.
Rarotonga.
Yes.
So that's your connection to Rarotonga,
Yes.
really?
And
Yeah,
I always knew about it. Like it was
yeah.
always said, but I never experienced it until I went to go visit my friend Talia Tamaru.
Okay.
And she took me to this place where all the wakas had left from that land, from Rarotonga. And it's funny because all our New Zealand wakas, they're there. There's little memorials and stones that
Yes.
represent our waka. That's so beautiful. You must go.
I would. I'd love to. So was it like a stopover by the sounds of things on the way here as they were traveling? A stopover, you know, Rarotonga as they were traveling, because, you know, Māori were travelers, really. Travelers of the sea.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, right. And I just loved it. I didn't know that at all. I had none of that
Well,
connection at all.
that's where you get the connect.
To Rarotonga,
Yeah, that's where you
yeah.
get the connection of. Yeah, so with the connection of Māori as being Māori, there's all these different Māoris. There's Kokiarani Māori,
Mm.
there's Tahitian Māori, there's Hawaiian Māori, and
Mm.
there's even Easter Island Māori. And that's how we are actually connected as people of the Pacific, because we had to travel from, you know, Hawaii, obviously, which is somewhere over there, which we believe is actually Rangatea, which is in Tahiti.
Mhm.
So so the migration's real, and it's actually quite beautiful when you look at it. And that's how I believe in the Pacific, we're all cousins.
Yeah, we are. We totally
Yeah.
are. Yes. I really love I never knew that because obviously, you know, I'm Ngāpuhi, I'm Ngāti Hine, and everything's all about going up there and there's no other people. I mean, I live in Te Aroha or Rotorua, but, you know, we're always told we're foreigners here, you know, because essentially, you know, we come from tribal lives and
Yeah.
whakapapa, and I just love that. But I just love hearing. I never knew that. I never knew any of that. So that's really. I just knew that we were, you know, Pacifica cousins, whānau, and we just you live next to us. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that
And
we.
that's true too. That's the truth as well. That is the truth as well. But it's
Hearing
not
that.
until you get to the islands where it's the Cook Islanders who taught me, actually, you're really closely related to us.
Yes.
Your people would have stood here like thousands of years on this very land.
Mm.
So that's where I kind of navigated through that. Yeah, it was really lovely to figure it out.
And did you know any of this before you went to Rarotonga and saw Talia?
No, I mean, I knew that we were from Takitumu Waka,
Uh-huh.
and that's where it stopped. But
Right.
then there were talks in my family about, oh, actually, Takitumu Waka comes from the Cook Islands. So, and it wasn't until I only got to experience that was when Talia had moved over to the Cook Islands and she took me to the places, and I was like, oh wow, that was breathtaking. It's really humbling.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because that was my next question. How did it feel for you? Because when you connect like that, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just felt
Humbling.
it was humbling. It felt, and it's funny because it was really strange because I never feel this type of way. I've only felt a certain way when I'm on my marae, which is manutai, like I said.
Mhm.
And it's like a cradling, warm bubble.
Mm.
you know, like you just know you belong. Well,
Mhm.
funny thing is, when I first landed in Rarotonga, that's the exact feeling I got when the wind hit me was, oh my God,
Home?
I've been here before. Yeah, it was
Um,
that kind of, I've been here before. I'm cradled by a bubble of warmth. I'm meant to be here. I didn't know that until, like, you know, I felt it, but I didn't really put it one and one together until Talia had taken me around the island and showed me all the landmarks.
mm. When
Yeah.
was that? When was that?
Oh, maybe 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I literally go every year.
Yeah, good. You would. You would.
Well,
I,
yeah, I felt a strong connection to the island. Yeah.
yes. Well, you are connected to it. It runs through your veins, isn't it?
Mm.
So what how did your so we kind of know how your whānau and community responded to you at the time when you were, when you were discovering that you were different or whakawahine. What values stayed with you as a child into adulthood? What values did you learn at that time stayed with you as an adult?
My values probably came deeply from my mother.
Yeah.
Feed the family, put kai on the table, make sure the lights don't go out, clean the house, wash the clothes, make your bed. But
Yes.
when I first came out to my mum, and which she already knew, but when I finally gathered that courage and told her, oh, look, mum, I'm not like others. I want to be a woman.
Mm.
The first thing she did was, well, okay, I'll show you how to be a woman. And that's what it wasn't about being pretty. Pretty came last in our family. It was about how you could put food on the table, how you can make money for the house,
Yes.
you know, how you can support your family, your brothers and
Mm.
your dad and I. Yeah. So a big value for me that I've learned and that I've kept along the line is making sure the whānau's fed. And if you're going to do something, do 100%.
Hmm.
Don't go half-assed into anything. And also another one is to stand really strong, no matter what it is, even if you're wrong.
Yeah, and your feet. Yes, your shoes. Absolutely.
Oh
So
my
your
God, that
dad
sounds so rude.
No, it doesn't sound rude, not at all. I totally agree with you actually about that because it was always about standing in your own 2 feet. And when you get older, you do learn to
Yeah.
like, no, I'm going to stand in my 2 feet and I'm going to be confident and who cares what people think. What about your dad? So they divorced. When did they separate? How old were you?
I would have been 6 or 7 where they separated. They finally got divorced, maybe around when I was 9. I
Right.
really can't remember. It was during that time was probably the most traumatic time for me because that when I started seeing the yuckiness of things. Um, you know, like my dad saying how he is with it, but I can't even go into it. I don't even want to go into it.
No, you
But
don't.
yeah, like just infidelity wise, my mum not being able to cope. There a violence did come out around then.
Yes.
So my dad had completely left the house and he was living with his partner at the time. And during that time, it was my turn to sleep over at his house. And that's when my dad actually gave me my first ever hiding of my life.
Right.
He,
From your mum.
yeah, there was a lot going on in the background that I didn't really like. But yeah, he had given me the biggest hiding of my life. I got thrown across the room. I got like, thrown into walls, these big holes in the walls. Like, it was really traumatic. It was so bad that my older brother that was there actually at the time, he defecated himself because he was that scared
Mm.
and he couldn't help me.
Mm.
But after all of that, I got dropped back off to my mum's, and from then on, I never had anything to do with my dad
Them
from then
again.
on. That was it. Yeah.
And thank you so much for sharing that because I know that would have been really difficult. But and it's not actually a but. It seems to me, from looking as an observer from the outside, that your mum protected you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm her baby through and through, and she will beg, borrow, and steal or scam to get me what I need. And yeah.
And she would have
Mum
been
protected me a
so
lot.
shocked and heartbroken that had happened to you when you came home.
Yes, because when he dropped us back off after what just happened, I
Yeah.
walked in crying, and she was like, "What the?" You know, she was like,
Yeah.
What's going on, baby?" And I
Yes,
was like, "No,
yeah.
no." And I remember grabbing her and trying to stop her from going out to that car.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Right.
because I was like, "He's gonna hurt you too. He's gonna hurt you too."
Mm.
And we're not. Us kids are not saying anything. We're just
No.
shocked because
She knew.
we never. Yeah, but she already knew. She's like, "What have you done to my kid?" You know, blah
Yes.
blah.
Mm.
But yeah, that was it. Really, that was my eye awakening. I loved my father. He spoiled me to pieces,
Mm.
but I saw the betrayal
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want anything to do with it. Like that, and I was a baby. I was like 8 or 9. Yeah, I didn't want far from him.
Yeah, that's incredible trauma that would always stay with you. And I'm so glad that you weren't forced to go back and stay.
Oh no, yeah. My mum was like, you don't have to see him. And then a couple months after that, he kept trying to come back to say sorry and see me. But to be honest, I only see him at the bank now, even to this day.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. That's a good thing. You know,
Yeah,
I love that for you.
yeah. He'll try even to this day. He tries to talk to me, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Do you have any money?
Yeah. It stays a long time, Glory. That
Sorry.
really stays. Yeah, it stays with you. It's embedded, like it's
Yeah.
practically in your bones,
Yeah.
that type of betrayal from your dad.
Yeah, it's in my very essence now, and he has to live with that.
Yeah, he does.
Mm.
He does have to live with that. No amount of apologies, because I mean, you're still seeing him, aren't you? So that was certainly the end of that with him. And do you think it is literally because of who you were or who you are?
I'm not really too sure. When I still see him, I can still see his embarrassment of me, his disapproval of me,
Okay.
even though I've probably done the most. Yeah, it's really weird. He hasn't said anything, but like us as being Whakawahine,
Yes.
we're very receptacle to energy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and what's happening around us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can
So
still
true.
feel it. I can still feel him, just the shame in him of me. Like, it's
Wow.
really strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never feel that with my mom.
No. And then, of course, you would have more shame with him, really.
Yeah,
because he's treating his child this way, and he's still staying with him.
yeah.
Yeah. So the discipline is his
To be
own.
quite frank, Uncle, he's
Yeah. 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 No, I understand. I'm so glad. And I really thank you for sharing, because I know that's hard. That's really hard. So, I'm going to move on to something a little bit more enlightening, more about you and who
we
you
love
are.
that.
Which is more exciting. So it's understanding whakawahine, really. For people who may not know, what does the term mean, whakawahine?
My thoughts on what Whakawahine is someone to make a woman. That is the literal sense of it.
Yeah.
I believe we walk both in male and female energy.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been here since the beginning of time.
Yes, of
We're
course.
not going anywhere.
No.
We're not, so that we're from the ancients, I believe. Like, you even have other cultures where Whakawahine is just totally a part of their culture. So
Absolutely.
to me, Whakawahine is something normal.
Mm.
It's not a sin. It's not anything wrong with you. It's just how you are. It's just how you are. And that's all you need to be, is how you are,
Mm. And celebrate it. It's incredible shoes to wear, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think Indigenous culture is quite different to, say, Western ideals. So do you think Indigenous Pacific understandings of gender are different from Western, and how are they different?
Yes, I think with Indigenous and Pacifica understanding, because the way we think is different. So with Maoris and Polynesians and Indigenous people, it's not what you are, it's what you bring. So if you can bring food to your table, if you can bring a little bit of guidance or knowledge and intertwine it into your community, and you're officially a part of the community and bringing in that knowledge. And so it's not, therefore, it doesn't matter what you are. It just matters what you're bringing. With Western idea, obviously in Western ideology, the trans community has always been there as well. They've just been shunned too much.
Oh, yes.
So they have less knowledge and less acceptance of who they are. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
Because they're not, just because they've been shunned, they've been in the dark ages for so long, their people aren't ready to accept them as they are, who they are, straightforward. Whereas the Māori and the Pacifica communities are different. We've always been there with them. We've always been an integral part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also, you did mention this the other day though, but you did mention that with trans people, Western trans, it is more like one day you're not a woman and then bam, you're a woman. But the funny thing is with our culture, you grow up being a woman. You don't just decide to be a woman. You blossom into one. You started at a very young age where you've come out to your family and said, you know what? Yeah, I'm not male. I'm not female. I'm not a boy. I'm not a girl. And your family most families tend to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just gradually grow up like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the big difference between it all.
Yeah, that is the big difference. When I've met when I was living in Sydney, and I used to hang out with a lot of sister girls who are Aboriginal, and those sister girls, it doesn't matter what you look like; it is a feeling.
Yeah.
You know, you may have whiskers or look quite masculine, but you have thin eyebrows, or you wear a dress, or you wear something that makes you look perhaps that way, but they don't hear what people see in front of them. It's how they are feeling. And it is a feeling, which is, it's a wairua, it's a spirit. And I just think that is magical. And it is like obviously I've grown up with lots of whakawahine, and they are magical people, Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, that's my understanding of it. Would you say that was yours?
Yeah, it isn't. It's your essence. Yeah, like you said, it's your wairua. If your wairua says one thing, that's your wairua, and no one can take that from you. No one.
Yeah. So what do you wish more people understood about whakawahine people?
I wish people would see that we're not some alien. We didn't come from some. Well, maybe we did. Maybe we came from a star.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there'll be a matariki star.
Yeah. Maybe I was gifted from the moon goddess or something like that. I don't know, but I don't know. I think people need to realize that we're not so different to everyone else. We're here for our family. We're here for our sisters. We're teachers. We're workers. We're managers. We're babysitters. We're part of society. And a lot of people need to stop thinking that we're just evens running around.
Yeah, they take it there all the time, even with Takatāpui, and I was like, what are you thinking about that for? It has nothing to do with it. It's just such a small part of our lives.
Yeah, there is a big sexual stigma about us and Takatāpui.
Yeah.
That we're only good for one thing. We're pieces of meat.
Yeah.
We're always sexually, we're sexually wanting everybody. Like, to be honest, I'm a nun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming to the freak my cobweb. Thank you.
So true, Glory. It's so true. I just find it so strange how people always go straight to that all the time.
Always, without a doubt, guaranteed.
And even this, what is the man, what is the woman, and the definitions that got brought up here. It's such a bizarre thing that came up, and you were like, oh, I don't want them going to my toilet. And it's like, they've probably been going to your toilet for years.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
I think
what at night because they're going to the toilet.
Exactly. And it's outside influence, isn't it? It's whatever's happening in the big powered world. And they're bringing their ticker out here.
Yeah.
Because I've used the girls' toilet since I was a baby, and ain't nobody told me, like, I'm just going to toilet. I'm not looking at anything. I'm trying to release myself.
Yeah. And also our tikanga, the way that we feel about the wharepaku as well, like seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is for when you go to the wharepaku.
Exactly. You're not there to do other things. Keep that to the sharing sheds, please.
It's true. So true. So congratulations, Sue, on becoming Miss Whakawahine 2026. What is
Oh,
that?
2025 on
Oh, sorry, 2025. Sorry, we're in that
Yeah.
now. What did that moment mean to you?
Woo. You know what? It was a moment of like, oh my God, I did it. That's what the moment was for me and the time. Like, joining the pageant was a win for itself because I'm one of those girls who's always in the background. I'm always behind stage, making others pretty, making others feel good. So putting myself out there and being like, oh, I'm beautiful, putting myself out there with such confidence, that was a big step for me of experience, and was actually a good experience for me because usually I am behind the curtains more so than being head front. But winning the pageant was just, I can't even explain. Yeah, I froze. I froze in a moment of time.
Mhm.
I didn't think it was real. I thought someone was punking me. I thought, this can't be right. But it was, and it was a beautiful moment for me. And I was starstruck really for a good while.
I love that gown. I'll get a picture and we will put it up. So people that are watching this podcast will get to see what you wore. It's just an incredible gown. Who made that gown for you?
Well, to be honest, my mum purchased it for me, and that's why I still jump back in it feeling really pretty. I'm not from a rich family.
No.
We're comfortable, but this gown was $1,000,
Wow.
and that's $1,000 of food on the table. It's something we don't just go splurging on. Me personally, I do splurge, but something for my mother to splurge on, oh, it was a big thing. And to be honest, I actually was umming and ahhing and putting little biscuits in her ear, and like, oh, this gown. Oh, sorry, my earphone fell out. Oh, this gown. And she was always, she wouldn't say anything and just wasn't like giving me any hint that she was going to get it, but I was hinting to her. But it was a week before the pageant, and I thought, oh, I'm not getting this gown. I'll go find something in my closet that I can wear. So I was one day before I was about to leave. I was about to catch the bus to Hamilton for the pageant. It was the day beforehand, and she woke me up with this big box with the gown in it. And she's like, open it. And I just thought, whatever, it's probably not. This is how ungrateful I was. I was like looking like, it's probably not what I want. And then I opened it and it was. And she goes, this is the only way I can support you. I can't come up and watch you. I can't. Because mum doesn't know anything about pageant or being pretty, because her thing is about wahine poor. It's about being strong and mana, So she's like, this is the only way I can support you, my baby, but you go in there and you kill them all. And so that was my gown. That's where it came. Yeah, it was a beautiful. And actually, my mum's always bought me gifts growing up and things that growing up, but she's always gotten it wrong.
Oh, is she?
Because she's not a girly. My mum is not a girly girl. But that's what the one thing that I was like, wow. It was a beautiful family moment.
Oh, it's just beautiful. I mean, ngā mihi to your mum. That's just divine. I didn't know that. That is such an important part.
And
I think story.
I think it was really big for her because it was the first time she ever didn't second guess or second anything. It was just straight like, it felt like true acceptance. She was ready for me to go on this journey. She wanted to total me up there, but she couldn't. And this was her way of like, here, baby, it was nice.
Oh,
and also my mum's a very hard woman. She doesn't tell her emotions much. Like she's very, yeah. So it was big for the both of us.
Well, she grew up in one of the first chapters of the Black Power and, in Wellington, like seriously, you know.
Oh, she's a staunch woman.
Yeah, I bet she is. And as we shared before about the Black Power women and how they're an integral part of the gang, and she might not be with it now, but she's always connected to it because she'll know people from that time that are still great friends of hers. Yeah. That's such an incredible, that's beautiful. I was trying to stop from crying. I think that is so sweet. So beautiful. So what responsibilities came with the crown, with wearing the crown, that beautiful crown that you've got on your head?
Um,
For our listeners, she's
honest-
got a crown on her head.
wow, with that pageant, there wasn't really clear guidance.
Okay.
I did have certain criteria I had to meet, such as I had to be at the Pride Parade.
Yeah.
And I was meant to come to the Sui Takatāpui this year as Miss Whakawahine, but due to changeover of the committee, we're now introducing Miss Whakawahine 2026 into the Sui Takatāpui instead.
Oh, okay.
So those are my two criteria, really, like my must-dos. Everything else, I just took upon myself to do.
Yeah.
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 I knew that I was going to be a platform for others. So I knew I had to stand firm in whatever movement was coming towards me, such as keep the dogs visible that's come towards me. I've stepped up for that. There was also, because I had won the title, the Cook Islands had just started revamping and reopening their trans pageant, the Miss Jewel Cook Island. And I got in there as well to become a judge, to judge for the contestant. And I solely did it because I did it without wanting to be paid or anything. I just solely did it for the sisterhood. And I knew it would make great international relations.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Yes, tell us about that pageant and how is it different? Because, well, you know, really, if we think about Miss Whakawahine as a pageant, it's probably, I mean, they've attempted it a couple of times, but I think now that you and your committee have grabbed the horns of it, it probably will be, it'll happen every year and stuff like that. But I imagine in Rarotonga, it's been happening for a long time.
Yes, so they
Yes.
have, the difference is with Miss Whakawahine, obviously, the Miss Whakawahine pageant gap is huge. I mean, the last running was Sister Mariah, who won in 1990, is it 1998?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would have been.
I don't know. I was in nappies anyway, when she won the title. Or, you know, I wasn't even I wasn't even a woman. I was still a boy.
Yeah.
But so that's the big gap.
Right.
And I think that was the difference, because it had fizzled out and there was no actual continuance of Miss Whakawahine. The difference over there is in the Cook Islands, they didn't have Miss Jewel. They had a Miss Jewel a long time ago, and then there was like a separation, and then there was another pageant called Miss Thunderhit, which took over.
Okay.
Which is a whole nother pageant, which is more about talent, dancing, and all that.
Yes.
And then they brought back Miss Jewel. But that had a 10-year sleep as well. So this year's Miss Jewel was also a revamp for them.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pageantry wise, I believe Miss Jewel really did well because they had lots of support. They had a big, huge organization, Tutiari Association, who was there to support their contestant. They had sponsorships from all around the island for their contestant to make this pageant a go-getter, you know.
Yeah.
And that was all to do with Talia Tamaru and Serena Van Gogh. I probably butchered her last name, I'm sorry. But they had a lot to do with that with their comms and their sisterhood over there.
Yeah.
I believe that my pageant that I contended in would have been a huge, huge, huge success if our elders in that committee had more support from their people.
Yeah.
I truly believe that their sisterhood did not pull through for them. And that's where they, you know, buckled. It had nothing to do with them. They did amazing for what they got given.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was down to the people, wasn't it?
Yeah. It always
the people
is.
were not peopling. Yeah.
People weren't peopling. Yeah. And it's a different. It was a time. You know. It's just, and you've been an incredible jewel from it. You know, you're being a taonga from it, and now you're being able to give it, you know, bring it up another level and it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And at least it started.
And
you're going to Rarotonga too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're going to Rarotonga too. Oh, sorry. Just quickly say this is because you were going over there to support or to talk with them, but you're also sort of think, well, that it's really worked for them. And if we can work it this way, it can be as successful as theirs were, because it was as successful over there, from my understanding, because everyone supported it. You know, there was a lot of tautoko.
Yeah. There was a lot of tautoko. And I went over there with that mindset of whatever's happening in this pageant, I'm bringing it back to New Zealand.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Which
And they would love that. They would love that. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll come. So would that, I was going to ask you what's been a highlight. It sounds like that was the highlight of your reign.
That was my main eye-opening, like, oh, okay, let's get into it. Yeah.
So people, because obviously our audience doesn't know you as much, as I do. You braid here. That's your profession.
Yes, it is. I'm actually a healer as well. So I used to own a day spa here in Wellington.
Right.
And it was the first trans-owned and operated day spa doing Polynesian healing and old beauty techniques. And it was open for our LGBT community. Those those people that felt that they couldn't be comfortable, that shame that comes with our gender identities of going into a spa, a day spa where you're going to be shunned, looked, for having different type body or that, that uncomfortableness. So I opened that up for that. Because I did see in Wellington is so gay, it's not funny. We're everywhere. We're like every second person is trans, a trans tane or a trans wahine.
Yes.
Or they're gay or they're lesbian. There's lots of us here. So I opened that space up for them. Unfortunately, due to economy, it went tick, and I had to let go because I was juggling everything by myself. I was doing things for my community, my family. I was running the day shift alone, the day spa alone, with no one to actually be behind me. I did have helpers, but there was nothing with like admin and book with me.
Yeah, and you need that person. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. And I just felt like, do I? And when I started seeing my clients leaving, like, the book started getting emptier. And I was like, I need to, it's sad to say, but I have to jump ship before it's completely sunk.
Yes, yeah.
So I did. And then
you didn't fail though, Glory. You didn't fail.
Oh no, it's a huge success.
Yeah,
even today, I still have people messaging me going, are you still doing massage? Can I just come see you at home?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sure, come over.
But now
still there.
You're a freelancer now, really, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm more freelancer.
Yeah.
And it took me a while. I ended up taking a break from everything because I'll be honest, my hands were killing me. I was getting hurt. My wider was diminishing. Just all that little thing that comes in with healing.
So hair can be such a powerful expression. Did you find in the mahi that you were doing that you were gender affirming in your work? Making people look more feminine with braiding or hairdressing or even healing,
Yeah, definitely I would have certain clients come in and they would want certain colors and that would affirm their color. Like they would be like, oh, more blues, more reds, more masculine, more fire, it would give you more fire, more energy. And then you'd get some of our sisters who would come and go, oh, I want to feel feminine, I want pink, I want purple, and a certain look. And I'm like, yeah, we can do that. So definitely with gender reaffirming is a big thing. It does happen. And also healing is another thing because certain colors, they do certain things to people, Orange can make you look and feel confident, pink can make you feminine, blue can make you feel calm. It does this with colors, it does a certain thing, yeah.
Did you find that part of it quite fulfilling?
So when I'm braiding, I feel like the world is like on the outside. It really helps me calm down. And I love giving people that confidence and that new vibrancy of them when they get out of my chair. So yeah, I think I like doing it. Yeah.
I love that because I do get a lot of it out of myself as a hairdresser. when I'm affirming people with a haircut to make them feel either more masculine or more feminine, and even makeup too. I've done lots of one-on-one consultations, or not just consultations, where I've actually just done their makeup to give them an opportunity to feel more affirmed visually, because you
Yeah.
can feel that way, obviously, which is what we've shared about being whakawahine, but being able to make someone look more feminine in our professional way is it's really fulfilling, and I love that part of it. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah, I
did you
do. I
love?
really enjoy that.
What did you love most about people feel? Sorry, what did you love the most about helping people feel beautiful?
I love the confidence that comes out in them. I
Mm,
used to, even when I was running the day spa, I used to see people come in a certain way. Their energy would be very unsure of themselves, meek and shy,
mm,
no mouth open. And then they would come out of the session of the healing, or like today, they would come off my chair. And all of a sudden they're like, the world can't mess with me. I'm amazing. They've got the urgency about them, and
yeah.
that's what I love seeing the most. I love seeing that.
Mm. It's just stunning, that part of it, isn't it? It really is. I love sharing that too. So what are your hopes for the future of whakawahine in
Yeah.
Aotearoa in New Zealand?
I feel my hopes is for everyone to stand their ground, be firm, whatever that may look like, If you're battling through family issues, stand firm, reaffirm with your family. In society, I believe we should all stand firm in society as well. It's all about being strong, and I hope that our whakawahine to come are more aligned with just standing your ground more and being present, being visible.
Mm. And that we've always been here. You know, we're not going anywhere, and it doesn't matter what anybody says. What dreams do you have for yourself?
Let's see. I don't think I have any, well, I have something hiding in the background that's happening that I can't speak of.
Okay.
Um, I'm a big believer of keeping things secret until it's come into fruition.
Yeah. Okay.
But something I can speak of is I would love my grading business to pop off a bit more. Personally, I would love to be able to have, you know, one day my own studio, because at the moment I'm just working from home
Mhm.
or doing in-house course, which is fine for me at work. But yeah, just having that little space of my own once again will be great. I haven't been drained. I think I'm all right.
Yeah.
Where I am in this day and age and how I am as a person. So I don't really have any, I got plans.
Yeah. You just don't want to share them just yet, but
I just can't, yeah.
I'm sure we'll hear about them.
Yeah.
If someone
In due
watches this,
time.
if someone watches or listens to this interview, uh, and feel they've seen you for the first time, what would you like to say to them?
Hello, darling. Oh, my darling. I'm down. Right in my.
I always knew, Glory, when I would be interviewing you, that I would do nothing but laugh. And I knew that that's exactly what would happen. And that's what I
Oh,
love.
I'm a clown.
No, well, we've all got to be, really. We've always got great sense of humours. It's also a part of our tikanga of who we are as whakawahine
Yeah.
or Takatāpui. We've got incredible humour because we've used humour as a defence to
Yes, we've had to.
we've had to. Yeah. So it's just
We've
running
had
through
to.
our
It's our
veins.
shout.
It's our show.
Yeah.
So I've had such a good time today, just talking to you. So I do this with everybody. I have these 5 fast fire 5 questions, I call them. And so you just don't think about them too much. And hopefully the first thing that comes to your head when you answer them, what would you say to your younger self?
I love you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I love you.
What does hauora or care look like for you today?
family first. Yeah.
Who or what brings you the most joy right now?
Oh,
Where do
it's
you get
all,
your joy?
I don't,
Oh, girlfriend, you're laughing, so you've got joy. So, yeah.
I don't know where it's coming from. Hmm.
Well, what
I'm
brings you
not,
joy?
I'm not sure. I'm very simple. The littlest thing can bring me joy. A nice cup of coffee, a
Mm,
plate of food.
there you go.
I find joy in the most littlest thing,
Mm,
waking up, um, meeting up with people, looking out and seeing birds. It's really strange, just looking out makes me happy. Beautiful scenery. Yeah, it doesn't take much for me to be happy and joyful.
yeah. And see, that's perfect. That's the perfect thing to say. It's the smallest things that really do matter. And we should start
Yeah.
looking for these small things, to bring us joy instead of looking for outside influences that are just beyond what we can reach, because it's the smallest
Yeah.
things that are
And
close
and
to us.
it's funny too, because it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Joy is right in fact, I think that like joy is literally right in front of you. You just gotta look at it
Mm.
differently. You gotta look at it a certain way. You just gotta be joyful inside, I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know where
No,
this joy comes from, but it comes.
I agree. What is one truth you hold on to no matter what?
I am me and I'm stunning.
Mm.
Yeah.
No
That's my
matter
one
what.
truth that I hold no matter what.
Yeah.
I could be in the dumps, I could be poor, I could have nothing to my name, but I know I am me and I am stunning.
Mm. Where does that come
Yeah.
from?
That comes from my mom, actually.
No, I love
You
that.
and you and you were stunning. She's
Yeah.
always, I think, yeah, that's what she's always told me, even though she's parted rock,
Mm.
that's always come out of her mouth. Baby, you are stunning. She's always said that.
Mm. That's lovely.
Yeah.
So finally, what does whakawahine mean to you?
Strength, courage, and unseen beauty to shine.
Because that's all you need, eh?
Yeah. You you don't need to be the best looking. You just have to have the courage and the strength to sit in front of your people, sit in front of anybody and stand strong and be you and tell them to all get
Mm. No, I agree with you, my darling, because when we're all
yeah.
together, when we're in our community or we're with our whānau that we have created ourselves, not just the people we're born with, we have incredible strength. And they're the
Oh
ones that we stand with. When you talk about sisterhood, even as I talk about the dolls and everything that's sort of happening with, what is the definitions, it really, really doesn't matter. What really matters is our community and that we've always been here and we're in our whānau and we're always going to be here.
exactly. We're all under one umbrella and united we stand firm and we are much stronger than being separated and segregated. So
I agree.
yeah.
Thank you so much for today, Glory. It's just been beautiful. The kōrero that I've been sharing with people on Takatāpui Talk. Lots of love.